Ready for this? We're diving into something kind of unexpected for a health boost to your social life.
Yeah, it's funny. We think about like what we eat or moving our bodies,
Right, the usual suspects.
but those connections, they're powerful stuff, like literally powerful
Yeah.
for your mind and body. Today, it's all about the notes on the Abundance Wellness Hub. I geeked out on these.
Oh, I bet. They sent over some good stuff for us to unpack. So spill the tea. Why are these connections so crucial? Don't hold back.
Okay, so first up, ditch the idea. This is just about like not being lonely. It goes way deeper. Think of it like hardwired into us to be social creatures.
Okay, so it's not just me being clingy. It's in my DNA.
Basically, your notes lay out these three big benefits of, having solid people in your corner. First one, mental health gets a major upgrade. Less anxiety, better moods, like having your own personal pep squad, but way less embarrassing.
So ditch the emotional eating. Call a friend instead.
You got it. And it's not just surface stuff, right? Strong connections, they actually lower your risk of serious mental health stuff. Depression. Having people who get you is huge for handling that.
Makes sense. If you're feeling super alone, everything feels harder.
Exactly. Support systems, they're like emotional shock absorbers. But get this, the benefits, they don't stop there. Second thing, your notes hit on physical health.
All right, now you're speaking my language. What's the science say?
Okay, think about when you're stressed out,
Hmm?
right? Or lonely even. Your body's pumping out cortisol,
Stress hormone, yeah.
and over time, that wreaks havoc on your system, like, hello, high blood pressure, heart issues. But here's where it gets cool, good social connections. They actually fight back against that.
You mean like hanging out with my friends is good for my heart? Better than a cardio workout?
It's like a chill pill, but better. And there's even proof that your immune system gets stronger.
No way. All this from just talking to people. Seriously. When you feel connected, your body's like, party time, releases oxytocin, all that good stuff. It's like a big old high five for your immune system.
I am here for it.
Yeah.
Okay, but our notes also mention this whole weathering the storms thing. What's that all about?
Ah, yeah. That's all about how social support makes you resilient. Life throws curveballs, right? But when you've got your people, the ones you can vent to, lean on, you handle those tough times way better. Like having your own personal safety net.
Right, so connections, good for the heart, good for the soul. Sounds pretty rosy.
Right, but there's another side to this. Our notes get kind of real about the downside of, going it alone. And with how much we're all glued to our phones these days, it's easy to fall into that trap.
I was just thinking that, like, I've got a million social media friends, but
Yeah.
sometimes it feels kind of hollow, What happens when we just don't prioritize those real connections? So it's not just about being around people, right? It's about those meaningful connections. And the tough truth. Chronic loneliness, it can mess you up. Like on a serious health level, some studies even compare it to the effects of smoking or even obesity.
Wait, seriously, being lonely is that bad for you?
That's the thing. People think it's just like a mood thing, but it goes way deeper. Social isolation. It's linked to heart problems, strokes, even dementia. It's wild.
Okay, well, back up. How does being lonely affect my brain like that? That sounds kind of scary.
Think of it this way. Your brain, it loves stimulation, right?
Right.
And social interaction. That's like a feast for your brain.
Yeah.
Keeps it sharp, helps those connections fire, right? But when you're isolated, it's like your brain's not getting fed. Some parts, like the hippocampus, super important for memory, learning. They can actually shrink.
My brain is literally shrinking because I'm not hanging out enough. Okay, I'm scheduling a coffee date right now. But what about people who are just naturally more introverted? Does this apply to everyone?
Oh, for sure. Being an introvert or extrovert,
Yeah.
it's more about how you recharge your batteries, not about needing connection. We all need it, whether you're a party animal or you'd rather chill with just one or two close friends.
Okay, that makes me feel better. So if we're building the ideal social life, what are the key ingredients? Besides actually leaving the house once in a while.
These notes are great for that. They give some really practical tips. First one's big quality over quantity. Ditch the pressure of having a ton of friends and focus on those deep, genuine connections.
Right, like real recognizes real. Who has time for all that superficial stuff anyway? So deep connections, that's one. What else?
This one might sound obvious, but we all need the reminder. Prioritize face-to-face time. I know, texting is easier.
Way easier.
But think about those conversations that just fly by,
Yeah.
where you feel that spark, that real connection. Those are the ones that happen when you're face-to-face, picking up on those little cues, the body language. Screens can't replicate that.
Totally. You can't get that same energy through a screen. It's just different.
Exactly. And those real, genuine moments.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff, the
Yeah.
foundation of a solid social life.
This is really making me rethink my whole approach to, my social life. It's not just about showing up, it's about like really showing up. But I got to ask, what about boundaries? Like we're supposed to nurture these connections, but I need my space too, right?
100%. Think of it like this. You can't exactly like fill from an empty cup, right?
Mhm.
Taking care of yourself means you can actually be more present for the people you care about.
That's a good way to put it. So how do we find that balance? Being there for others, but also, setting those boundaries.
Your notes actually had some really good advice on this, and it all starts with tuning into yourself,
Mhm.
recognizing when you need a break, and being okay with saying no sometimes.
No guilt trips for skipping a party. Sign me up. What else helps with those boundaries?
Surround yourself with good energy, people who lift you up, you know. And on the flip side, don't be afraid to create some space from relationships that are like draining you.
That's easier said than done, right? It's tough to step back from certain people sometimes.
Totally. But setting those boundaries, it's huge. It's like you're saying, hey, this is how I want to be treated. And remember, talking about it openly is key. Be upfront about your needs, and hopefully the people you're close to will do the same.
It's about creating that environment of like mutual respect, right? Where
Yeah.
everyone feels comfortable speaking up.
Exactly. When you approach your relationships that way, with honesty and self-awareness, that's where those really deep, fulfilling connections come from.
Man, this deep dive has been eye-opening. It's so easy to get caught up in everything else and just forget about the things that really matter.
It's a constant work in progress, for sure. But as we've seen from your notes, it's worth it.
Absolutely. So, to wrap things up for everyone listening, social connection, it's not about how many friends you have. It's about that feeling of belonging, of knowing you're not alone. It's about feeling good inside and out.
Love that. And remember, it all starts with one connection, one conversation at a time.
So true. Think about your own life, your own circle. What's one small step you can take today to strengthen a connection or even make a new one? Until next time, stay connected.